Hello everybody! It's Tuesday. I didn't vlog yesterday. I was on call from 2 a.m. to 2 p.m. and I didn't get used. I had OPR today at 11:45 and it was supposed to go to 3:45, but I ended up getting used for a trip. I just did Charlotte to Chicago and now I'm here and I've got a Monster and I'm gonna go work out soon. Tomorrow afternoon I just do Chicago back to Charlotte. I'm kind of bummed because I told my cousin and some of my college friends that live here in Chicago the next time I got a long layover here that I would get a hold of somebody, but I just don't know if it's gonna work out because our long hotel, the one that I'm in now, is about 45 minutes to an hour away from downtown. And I think most of them live around that area. I have no way to get down there, and on a Tuesday I'm not gonna call, when I'm not gonna be here for very long, it's just not, I just don't think it's worth the drive. I would feel bad. Good morning everybody, it's Wednesday and I'm just making breakfast. I thought this would be a good time to show you what I brought, what I packed for meals this time. I packed assuming I would get a 3 or a 4 day, so I have more food than what I actually need. And I do have a video that eventually I'll sit down and do where I actually just discuss meals and show you how I meal prep and stuff. For breakfast, usually what I do is, it doesn't look very appetizing, but it really is. It's actually really good. It's just a chocolate vegan protein powder because whey protein makes my face break out. So I have to get a plant-based one. And then these are old-fashioned oats. What I'll do is I just run a thing of coffee without actual coffee in it so that I can get the hot water to melt the oats. I think I probably just want to add a little bit more water. If I don't have time to do this, I always make sure I have some breakfast flavored Quest bars, and then you can see protein, oats, and I put a bunch of cinnamon in these bags before I pack them too because I really love cinnamon. Oh, I have blueberries. Oh, I'm glad I did this because I totally forgot that I have blueberries to put in my oats this morning. And then I put sauces in, these are Go Stacks, and they don't leak, so you can get these, if you just Google Go Stack, you can probably just find one online. It's by Blender Bottle. This is for my veggies, which I just did. This is about 1.25 cups was the serving size, but it's, I don't even remember the brand. There was a deal on it at Harris Teeter. It's just some frozen stir fry, and then I just made a whole huge batch of it and divvied it up according to the proper serving sizes, and got carrots to snack on. Oh, I also put protein in, what it's actually supposed to be used for, the Go Stack. Got apples. Oh, that was empty. That's from last night. I haven't had the chance to cook up some chicken breast, so I bought Swanson white premium chunk chicken breast. And luckily this hotel has a microwave, so I put a whole can of this in an empty in that. I had just brought an empty container to put my meals in when I'm ready to eat them, and then I wash it out. So I put this and the stir fry in that last night and then heated it up, and it wasn't too bad. And I also just have these single servings of tuna, which the tuna doesn't, tuna's pretty cheap, but the chicken breast, it's easy and I don't have to worry about it staying refrigerated, but it is more expensive for me because my grocery store has a sale for its members on chicken breast, and it's always just $2 a pound, which is insane. So this is actually more expensive for me to buy. A lot more expensive for me to buy, but I didn't really have a choice. Those are my meals now. I've just kind of been on the go a lot lately. I've been able to do grocery shopping, but then I don't have time to actually make as prepared meals as usual. But that stir fry stuff was pretty good, so honestly I might be doing that more, and it's also super easy and takes up a lot less time than my Southwest salads that I've been making. Plus I'm getting kind of sick of those. Also, I'm just kind of getting in the fall mood, even though it doesn't feel like fall at all in North Carolina yet. I've definitely got bit by the fall bug. Scheduling needs to get their act together. I just got assigned, well, I guess technically I got assigned last night, but I was assigned a trip that really should not have been mine. Since I was on rest last night, they couldn't call me. Oh, by the way, the trip back from Chicago, or the one leg back from Chicago, was fine, sort of. The bus driver showed up at the hotel about 10 minutes late to pick me up, and with Chicago traffic and the size of the Chicago airport, I was kind of running through the airport, but that's okay because the lead flight attendant had bought donuts for everybody, so I had a really great leg day today in the gym. Back to this trip, I looked shortly after landing from Chicago and saw that I was Wrap B, so I was going to be on call from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Apparently, sometime after that, last night, I was given this trip. It's a 2-day. It's I don't even know what it is. A Nashville turn, I think, and then to Cleveland. Long layover in Cleveland, and then tomorrow, I believe, ends with a Miami turn. It's not horrible. It's just because it doesn't leave until the afternoon. We don't get to Cleveland until almost midnight, and then tomorrow, again, I don't get home until 11:30 or something. And it's my last day on call, and on your last day, you don't want to not get home until the very end. It just kind of sucks. If you get in the morning, then it's nice. You kind of have another, at least an extra half day of being off. Anyway, I'm rambling. I had an energy drink because I was just, they called me. My check-in is at 3:05. It is about 2:15 right now. I'm shocked I got out the door kind of on time, because they called me to notify me that I had this trip at about 1:20 or something, and I wasn't home. I was out and about doing things, thinking that I didn't have a trip and that I was still just on call. So they called and left a message, and they're like, we just need you to acknowledge you haven't signed in for this trip yet, or acknowledged it. And I'm like, what trip? I remember looking at the reserve screen this morning. I didn't look to see what my number was. I just looked to see how many people in Wrap A there were, because then gives you kind of a good idea of when they'll even get to Wrap B. So I looked about halfway through the morning, and there were still a few people that were good for 2 days in Wrap A. So I was like, okay, I've got a few hours. When they called me and told me that I had been assigned one last night, I called back and I asked to talk to a supervisor. I'm like, how does this make sense that this morning there were people good for 2 days in Wrap A? This check-in is a Wrap A check-in. The check-in time fell within the limits that it should have been given to somebody who was assigned Wrap A, and it wasn't. I don't mind, I can't breathe. I don't mind taking the trip if it's truly mine, but it wasn't my trip. It shouldn't have been my trip. And by the time they called me to see if I had seen it, they had already used everybody in Wrap A, so all the 2-day people in Wrap A, so it's not like they could have given it to one of them. And long story short, I don't mind the trip if it were truly my trip, but this shouldn't have been my trip. For them to wait until almost the last minute to be like, oh, do you know that you have this trip? No, I don't. And if you would have called me this morning about it, then I would have been much appreciated, because I could have planned my day out a little bit better. I am just chilling in the parking lot of my gym, waiting for my pre-workout to kick in. My trip, we got in last night a little bit before 11, by 11, so I was home about 11:30. Except I haven't been sleeping very well all week, and it's starting to catch up to me. Yeah, so I was just exhausted, and I still didn't really sleep well last night. I think it's just the change in weather. I don't know. I was off today, just watched Michigan football, whoop on BYU's butts, and now obviously I'm about to work out. My alma mater plays Ohio State today, so hopefully we can win, but I'm not getting my hopes up too much. Sorry, Broncos, but Ohio State's #1 in the country right now, unfortunately. It's now Sunday, so I am going to end the vlog, but first, the level in which I am embracing fall this year is a little extraordinary, and I think a lot of it just has to do with the fact that North Carolina doesn't have harsh winters whatsoever. February is about as worse as it gets, and it doesn't even get that bad in comparison to Michigan anyway. But right now, I've got all of my candles lit, and I picked up a couple of fall scents. And I just finished making, oh my god, they're so good. Like, I'm just looking, I've already had one, and just the idea of having some more is getting me really excited. But, so I've got my little fox, some chai tea, and this gorgeous bowl of yumminess. Halo Top vanilla ice cream, which is super good. It's got, like, it doesn't taste like a healthy ice cream, but it is kind of healthy and there's not a lot of calories in it. Sprinkled with Walden Farms maple syrup, some pumpkin pie spice, and cinnamon. And then I made these healthy pumpkin chocolate chip cookies, but the amount of chocolate chips that I have in them, I think, might negate the healthy properties in them. But you know what? I don't even care. I really wanted a lot of chocolate chips in them. I do go back on call tomorrow, and I just have OPR, so I'll be preparing for that tonight, packing meals just in case I get a trip, and packing my suitcase so I don't have to tomorrow. If you have any questions, leave them down below. If there's not a reply, like after you leave the comment, if there's not a reply thing, I'm not able to respond to it. I'll try to answer questions in a video. But yeah, I've tried to respond to a couple of them, but it didn't have the little reply button, and I wasn't able to. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already so you know every time I put out a new video, and all my social media links are down below. I hope everybody had a great week, and I will see you all soon. I'm in Norfolk, Virginia right now. It's 12:17 at night, in the morning, whatever you want to call it.